this story about Muhammad Alam's family who just arrived in December 23, 2024. When they newly arrived, their caseworker bought them the apartment they're living right now and told them that the caseworker will provide everything for next 6 months.
A refugee is a person who's been forcibly displaced from their home country because of persecution for political beliefs or religious beliefs, or because of famine or war.
And so they get legal access to our country. They're given documents and brought over usually by the UNHCR. The case agencies would pay for like 6 months of rent.
They are the most legally vetted immigrants coming to the United States, and they come here with all of the rights and privileges of legal residents here in the US. They also pay back all of the funding that is used to resettle them.
We brought them here not with just some abstract promise of the American dream, but with very specific promises, knowing that we were putting them in a place where they don't speak the language yet and they don't have, any documents yet. They are, for a time, completely dependent. We have to fulfill our end of the promise, and we're just not keeping our promises. We completely dropped the ball.
The change has been across the board. They've lost their funding. So now there's a massive gap in people that are here that are ready to receive help, needing help, and are unable to figure out where to get it.
I feel really sad and disappointed because it's made a lot of family have trouble or had to stop their hope.
Caseworkers realize oh man, I can't actually do anything that would cost money to help a family.
There's just some really, really fundamental administrative processes. Even those things have kind of gotten put on hold.
Beginning of the February, when Muhammad Alam trying to contact the caseworker did not answer their call. Muhammad Alam went to the office asking why you're not responding my message. Caseworker says, I'm sorry. Because of the recent government decision, it's impacted our program. We can't help you anymore. Even I lost my job and I can't do anything for you. For February rent, we already pay off for you. For the March, you have to figure out yourself. Maybe ask help from your community, from your friends. And Muhammad Alam said, I don't know anyone. And Muhammad Alam went to the community center, tried to meet some of the Rohingya people. The Rohingya person said, sorry, we don't know what to do. This is not only you, and there's other families also impacted. With this new government decision, a lot of family didn't receive blanket. 4 or 5 people sharing with 1 or 2 blanket. They're wearing 3-4 clothes one time because they feel cold.
There was one family that we visited where they actually seemed to have a couple things in their home. We saw a blanket on the floor, we saw some pillows, we saw some plates. As we started asking these questions, they were telling us actually everything you see in our home is borrowed and we have to give it back. The one thing that is ours is the pillows, because we found old clothes outside and from around the community, and we rolled them up and we put them inside of a pillowcase so that we have a pillow under our head when we sleep at night.
Just met a family the other day who's been here not quite 3 months. And the husband was telling me how much he wants to work and apply for a job. He sits at home with not much else to do, and he, for the first time in his life, wants to have a legal employment. But because he hasn't been able to get a Social Security card, he hasn't been able to go out and work. He hasn't been able to pay rent, to get a driver's license, to get transportation and provide for his family.
There's a lot of people here that we have that the church is able to care for right now. There is a gap where people are hurting, they have doubt, they have fear, they have a lot of uncertainty.
Over and over again, God says, love the foreigner and take care of the foreigner in your land. Don't oppress them, but advocate for them.
I think of the Sermon on the Mount, and towards the end of the sermon, Jesus says, there will be those who come and Christ will respond and say, I never knew you. And that is largely in part how they didn't feed the hungry when they were hungry and care for the widow.
When we are walking in obedience to the things that God has given for us to do, we will be filled with joy. To give is greater than to receive. This is a time and an invitation for the church to step into the fullness of joy.
We have a benevolence fund that's tax deductible that people can give to, and then that group behind that is kind of working and writing all the checks and stuff to be able to use those payments to directly pay rent offices and utility offices.
First and foremost, the most immediate needs I would like to see met: food, clothing, shelter. But secondly, the Office of Refugee Resettlement says that the greatest predictor of success for a family, an immigrant family, is connection to someone from the host country.
They don't just need money and physical things, which they do need that as well. They need everything at this point. They are a whole people who need family, and they don't have any here yet.
You, as someone who's lived in this country for your whole life, a number of years at the very least, maybe, you have a lot to offer. You know the systems. Meeting needs can be as simple as just showing up and helping them make some phone calls to get their electric bill paid.
So my invitation to you is to pray and to ask God, what is your role in this time?
After meeting Kaylee and Michelle and Andrea, they feel released a little bit. They feel like until they got their social security card, until they got their job, someone will help them. They really need help from all of you. We are really appreciate all of your help. May Allah bless you all and give us more and more to help all the people who really need help from you guys. I don't know how do I appreciate with my word. Thank you is not maybe enough to say, but I'm going to say thank you so much for all of your help.
For a Muslim, to welcome a guest is to welcome God. And so first I want to say thank you for taking the time to even listen to what we have to say. And secondly, I would love to see people advocate for that same mentality, that to welcome a guest is to welcome God, and see how that will change not only the lives of the refugees among us, but our lives too. So thank you.